another video of pulsating biology where we will be covering another topic of cell structure and the functions. But before we dive into the video, we will be giving a look on the syllabus. Like always, we have covered 1.1. Those the ones who have watched the previous videos must know that we have covered 1.1, and now we will be coming on to the 1.2, that is about the specialized cell, tissues, and the organs. We will be covering all of these pointers in this video as much as we can. It says that we need to understand how cells have their specific functions and to understand the term of cell, tissue, organ system, and by the help of an example also. So I'll be assuming that the students of grade 9 and 11 are watching this video. That's why I'll be explaining with the help of in such a manner that basically both students or the kids of both grade in 9th and 11 will be understanding it very easily. Well, so in every human being, there are basically gametes in their reproductive organs. We have studied it earlier in the earlier classes. So let's understand it with the help of a diagram. Let's say this is a gamete and this is another gamete. So name is this is a male gamete and the other one is the female gamete. All of us knows that when a male gamete meets with a female gamete, it produces a third gamete that is named as zygote. We will be learning about zygote, but first let's have a look on the male gamete and the female gamete. The male gamete, the chromosomes that it consists is the X and Y, whereas the female gamete has the X and X. So, what are the number of chromosomes that each of these gamete carries? The total number of chromosomes in the human are basically 46. That says that there are 23 in pairs. So, in gametes, we have 23 female gametes chromosomes and 23 male gamete chromosomes that in turn forms a new zygote with 46 number of chromosomes. So the question arises how the zygote basically turns into an organism. That is what has been asked in your syllabus primarily, that how the zygote in turn becomes organisms or the baby that or the fetus that is being delivered. So the zygote that is formed, that is also known as the daughter cells, because it further goes through divisions and forms a structure like this where it has multiple cells and the division has occurred and each divided cell is responsible for a different function. Since we have discussed about the division of a zygote, let's give it an example that when a zygote is divided with the help of mitosis, what happens, and when it is divided with the help of meiosis, then what happens? When it is divided with the help of mitosis, basically the number of cells that has been formed, they have same number of chromosomes that were present in the parental cell. The number of chromosomes that are present in the parental cell are, for example, say 23 or the 46. So the zygote or the daughter cell should have the same number of chromosomes. Whereas if we talk about meiosis, in the case of meiosis, the number of chromosomes are basically reduced. So when a haploid zygote is basically divided with the help of a mitosis, the cells are divided and each cell has the same number of chromosomes as the parental cell. So the question that is very commonly asked is that how a single cell is basically forming an organism. So we will be finding an answer to that to this question. I'll be making a diagram again, so it'll be easier for all of us to understand it. So this is a male gamete, this is the female gamete, and it forms a zygote. Well, how the zygote turns into a fetus? Zygote basically gets divided and it in turn becomes an embryo. After becoming an embryo, it is basically developed into the fetus or the baby that is being delivered. Now, how all of this process happens is by the help of division. I've already told that when a zygote goes through meiosis or we say mitosis, so what happens is that the cells are divided for different purposes. Now the term that is specialized, that is used in your syllabus, what does that mean is that These are the divided cells. So let's say these two of the divided cells are responsible for making limbs and the arms and the legs. Okay. The rest of these two cells are responsible for making, let's say, liver. The rest of these two cells are responsible, let's say, for kidney. And these two are responsible for heart. So the each divided cell is responsible for the production or for the formation of certain organs. They say limbs or liver or heart or any other organ, that is pancreas or maybe any other. Now, how your syllabus says that how all of them are specialized. So you'll be defining it with the help of a process that is either by the process meiosis or by the process of mitosis. When the division occurs, each cell is responsible for the formation of each organ that in turn makes up the organism. In your syllabus, the next very important topic that we need to cover is that why are specialized cells, basically how the term cells, how the term tissue, how the term organs or the organ system are basically defined. So have a look at this flowchart that says cells are joined together to form tissues. The tissues are joined together to form an organ. The organ are joined together to form a system, and the system joins together to form an organism. This is a very easy flowchart that we have been learning over the years in our earlier classes, that how cell is the basic unit of life. And everything begins with a cell, whether it is a plant, whether it is a species, whether it is an organism, anything that is in a biosphere, basically starts its life with the cell. Cell basically joins up together to form the tissue. And then tissue joins up together majorly to form an organ. Organs form a system and systems forms an organism with a multiple system formed, for example, nervous system, circulatory system, or cardiovascular system. All of these systems, when in terms form into an organism, it forms up. So another example that can help us understand in a better way is that, let's say, a tissue the cell begins into a muscle tissue. From the muscle tissue, what originates is the heart. Let's say these muscle tissues are cardiac muscle tissues, all right, that develops into a heart. A heart develops into a system, and the system of heart is known as the circulatory system. The circulatory system in turn forms a human being, since the system is being formed in a heart, and in turn the heart circulatory system is being formed. In this way, we can understand the pointer in your 2.2 that says how the cells are developed into a tissue, the tissue is developed into an organ, the organ are developed into a system, and in the organism. By the term system, we mean circulatory system or cardiovascular system or any other kind of a system that basically runs in our body. And we are very much well aware of this topic, but we just wanted to give an overview. Well, this is 2.1, 2.2 that we have been covering in this video. Kindly leave any query if you have in the comment section below. We will be covering the rest of the topics in the next video. Thank you for watching.